Turning to the bond market for a moment, Wayne, the bond market has had a tendency to lead the stock market. What is the bond market telling you now that perhaps the stock market is not factored in, right? We've seen yields on the 10-year that had kind of bumped up above 2% have now come back down.
Yeah, I think the bond market is basically telling you that the Fed wants investors to go out on the risk spectrum, and that it's largely a reflection of current monetary policy. So, you know, I think that the loose money is going to be here as long as inflation. I'm sorry, as long as unemployment is high, and as a result of that, I think that you know, people are looking at the relative attractiveness of bonds, where you know the 10-year at whatever yield that you're at now, you know, plus or minus 10 basis points, you're still looking at a negative real return versus stocks that are, as Sam has said, and I agree, are reasonably valued and can provide a positive real return. You know, I think if you're looking at those two and you're comparing, you know, it's going to tilt you towards the equity market. Yeah,
to your point, Wayne, you know, we've been hearing a lot about the potential for the great rotation out of bonds into stocks. We haven't really seen that yet. Is it, you think, because the Fed is kind of tampering with the bond market and keeping yields down and prices high, and so until investors really feel the pain and lose money in bonds, we're not going to see that move into stocks?
I think that's very true, and I think that in part, you know, but I do believe that investors in general are becoming aware of these risks, and it's really a waiting game between when the Fed decides to tighten or actually stop the bond purchases versus you know, when you know, as compared to what equities would do. So there really is, when you're back to Fed watching with the bond market. But the problem, the issue this time is that the implications and the potential capital losses are far more severe than they have been in historical circumstances.